Okay, so I love that the cabinets are installed. So the vent hood. So we have built that before.
Okay.
Essentially,
Nice.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. The edge of this finished, and we will sheetrock around it, not stucco. It's just literally sheetrock.
Oh.
It'll be in line with the edge of the cabinet,
Okay.
and then the countertop will kind of see how it kind of like overhangs slightly.
Yeah, we can leave 1.5 inches.
Then what you're gonna do on the inside is this thickness is 6 inches.
6 inches.
So that I can have a 4-inch shelf.
Okay.
Because then what I want is ideally a 4-inch shelf that they can stack
Wait
stuff in. The inside of it all will be tile,
Okay.
but your shelves will be white oak.
Okay, almost flush with the cabinet, right?
It's pretty much flush with the cabinet. But see how, and then the underside is white oak,
Okay.
but you're gonna do a little,
Like a 1-inch strip, maybe?
maybe
I think we
two.
used 1 by 2, and we turned
Two,
it
put
up,
the
yeah.
two. You'll see the 2.
2 inches.
Yep. And then the underside is stained, all tiled, and then this whole thing is, did we stucco or?
It's stucco.
It's stucco,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
sheetrock. I'm sorry, that's my fault. But it turned out really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So that's gonna be this whole area. These are all, the cabinets already in, which are great. They look really cool. So here I want beadboard, actual traditional beadboard that we can, I believe, purchase from OHC or somewhere. But what I'm wanting, beadboard in the back, and I want the height of it to be at the center of this window.
Okay. Nothing above
So-
that, like a floating shelf?
Nothing above it. No. The only thing I think we should probably do on the top is maybe like a 1 by 2 by a paint grade,
White oak?
just to
Paint grade?
kind of like finish it off,
Okay.
so it doesn't just. But yeah, I want like traditional beadboard. This looks so pretty. Aren't these gorgeous? I love the way those turned out. In here, let's just do our L-shaped. Traditional kind of pantry design. The only thing is I do want the bulkheads to the floor, no bottom. Probably have that one come out to 22.
Okay.
I don't know if you can go 22 with this one. It's a pocket door, but I
Pocket door?
still feel like it
Probably
gets
maybe
tight.
20 inches?
Let me see, 20.
You know, with 18?
18.
18.
Sorry. Yeah, 18. And then leave, a space, and then 16, 14, 12.
And 22 on this one.
22, yep. So yeah, bulkheads to the floor, open bottom.
Would you like paint gray on the top or white oak stain?
Do white oak.
Okay.
It'll be more durable. And then 16, 14, 12. And then a top, yep, that's exactly. And then you can leave it open above that.
Okay.
Yep. There's nothing for the bar that you have to do. That's all by Suburban. You will have to build this mud bench. You're building this over here. So here's my vision. I know this is sloped. That's kind of why I covered, kind of like hid the slope in this archway. So I want the entire, so this whole bottom part, I think should be 24. Then I'm wondering, I'm like not married to any depth on this. I just want us to kind of cover the slope. So I don't know what depth we want. I think you'll probably have to kind of play with it and lay it out. And then if it comes out to 24, great. If it comes out to 20, ideally, or 22.
32, I will say a couple inches
Back.
back.
And then I want this whole thing, you can kind of see from my drawing, like, you know what I mean? Where it's kind of, it's an illusion. But I want this whole thing to be kind of that like rounded arch. And then just kind of paneled in the back for the hooks. This whole thing will be stained.
Just the bottom part. This one is
Just the bottom part.
And this is paint.
That's paint.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Fireplace. So I'm gonna wrap this whole thing in tile. I can give you dimensions Because what we'll probably do is have Pablo build the box, and then we'll wrap it. So
And probably this looks like it's different.
it's kind of all different. Yep.
Okay.
So I'll dimension this out and I'll send it to Cody and have him send it to you. But essentially you'll just build the box and then we'll wrap it. Let's go to the master real quick. Oh, crown, obviously in this whole area. Crown in the butlers, crown in the bar.
Okay.
You don't need to crown that mud bench hallway though. Crown the entry. Yep. Yes. Crown it. Crown. And then I want you to attach it on here.
Stain grade.
It's stain grade. And you'll wrap, so on, where's the, this is the bigger one. This is the makeup one, right? Yeah, I think so. That's a smaller one. That one's a finished end. So once you get the material, let's meet out here, because ideally, the way I've done this before is I've wrapped it, but I don't know if I love that because it's gonna stick past this. So once you get the material, let's look at it and see if it makes sense to like end it here, end it maybe at the drawer bank.
Okay.
Let's get the material first. What I'm thinking in my head is have that material end on the corners. I don't know, because then we could putty it and sand it and make it look finished.
On the front looks good because it's gonna be flush with the drawers.
It's gonna be flush with the drawer. I know, it'll be weird. I agree. I agree. Okay. So, but that'll be on this vanity and on this vanity. Then in this closet, what I have, because there's hanging on each side. So probably just a single, but we definitely can get a double here. Yeah, just a single.
The 36 inches?
Yeah, that's fine. And then what I want to do, I'm going to do shoe rack there. If you split this into 3 sections, how wide would that be? If you went like maybe...
Like a 36 inches each section?
Each section?
We can make 40 inches on each hanging and probably like
Let's do that. Do that. So do double double.
Okay. Are we doing seasonal or just to 80?
You know what? That's a great question.
Probably in
feel like
here, we
we
probably
should.
should, yeah.
I feel like we should. Only the bar. No pull downs, but just the bar.
Okay.
So let's do double double, shoe rack on the end.
30 inches on the shoe rack?
That's fine. That's perfect. That's what I was thinking. Shoe rack will go to the ceiling.
Okay.
Only thing that won't go to the ceiling, obviously, are the chests.
Yeah.
But everything else, since we'll do seasonal, I just think
3
that'll look
shelves
better.
above.
Yeah, how we typically do. I just think on these shoe racks, since we're seasonal all the way up, and your bulkheads will go all the way up, don't you feel like the shoe rack will look better going all the way up to the ceiling?
Probably can do the same height as the shelf.
You think?
Chest, but we can.
Because that gets really tall.
It's gonna be really tall.
You have to get a, yeah. Would you put a hanging rod above that? Do you know what I mean? If the chest and everything are at 80,
Well, no, because normally the bulkheads on this are only 12 inches deep.
they won't fit it.
And hanging area is 16.
Let me think, let's continue on. I haven't decided on that yet. Hanging over here, we're gonna do 3 sections. You're gonna come to the end of this wall,
Okay.
single, double, double. Out of season. Then over here, let's do a 36-inch chest over here as well. Probably all double. We don't need any single over here. And then over here, Pablo, let's just do shelves. Okay,
Seasonal?
seasonal. I think I've decided, let's go to the ceiling because I want to go to the ceiling with this one, and that one I want to match.
Everything over.
Yeah, because this one I think would look beautiful going to the ceiling. And then I don't want that one to be shorter. So ceiling to the shoe rack. So the only thing not going to the ceiling is the chest.
Okay.
Yep, perfect. And then we could put a mirror on this wall. No, we don't need to frame it out because you have the pocket door. I have shoe racks on each side. These can all be standard to 80. And then hanging, double single in the back. Yep. Exactly. We can still get traditional beadboard, right, from somewhere. Okay. I just think I like that look for this house.
Yeah.
Then paneling. Okay. Continuing on. Let's crown this hallway. And let's also crown this hallway. Can we? The vent.
Then remove it.
Can we move the vent or no? If not, I'm just not gonna crown
I'll have to
it.
go up and look.
Okay, if we can move the vent, crown them. If we can't move the vent, don't crown either. You know what I mean?
Yep. The study, we're doing crown.
Study crown. The other thing is I'm gonna need you to order some more beadboard for in there. Let me show you. What I have is Suburban built all these cabinets. You just need to build the floating shelves.
Okay.
They should have built this to where your floating shelves can die into this side. So if they didn't, let me know. And then this entire wall is beadboard to the ceiling.
Over to the ceiling.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus 2 floating shelves.
Floating shelves.
White oak.
Okay.
But beadboard is pink grade.
Okay.
And then the wood top Pablo is white oak as well. It's upside down. I was looking at it like this.
We
Like-
can move it.
We can't. We can move it. Crown. Coat closet, standard.
Standard. Yep.
That door looks really nice.
Standard closet.
Yep, so this one we have a shoe rack in this corner.
Okay.
And then we have just hanging in the back. I don't think there's room for double. I think just do all single. I mean, I'm sorry, all double. There's no, for 2. My God, can I talk? 2 sections, 1 section. I'm just making sure I went through everything. That is it. That's yours.
Perfect.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I think that